Am I the asshole? Husband threw a barbecue party for his friends. I refused to help. Party was a disaster. Disclaimer. We are all vaccinated. So, my husband likes to invite his friends, note, his friends. I am not close with them, for barbecue parties. He prides himself on his barbecue skills. The thing is, I always end up doing everything. He buys and preps the meat and then grills and serves it, and collects praise for his barbecue skills. I have to buy drinks, get out enough dishes, clean up the patio, deck, non-native speaker, IDK which one to use. I prepare the sides and veggies, I refill the drinks and take away dishes. We don't use paper plates or plastic cups since I find it wasteful, so as to keep the main table tidy. It's just non-stop work for me. He just told me last week that he invited his friends for Saturday, so yesterday. Just announced it, didn't ask me. I said well okay, do I know anyone? Nope, those are his workmates and they won't be bringing their spouses. My husband called it a guys' night. I said okay then, guys' night, well enjoy yourselves. I will be in my craft room working on some of my projects and drinking wine. He said he will handle it. Spoiler alert, he did not handle it. He got the meat all right, but just ignored any other preparation and I was just so sick and tired of being taken for granted. He never asks me for help, I just do stuff. So I didn't do anything. The patio was a mess, the upholstery of the garden furniture was all messy from our dogs, the table wasn't wiped down, there was stuff lying all around. His friends arrived, I welcomed them and then excused myself to my crafts room, put some music on and worked. Cue the messages. He started asking for stuff, like where are the plates, we only keep a small set in the kitchen, the rest is in the basement. Where are the cups? Why isn't the beer chilled? Where is the non-alcoholic beer? Did I not buy it? Where are the sides? I just replied that he said he would handle it all himself. Edit. This is also where I might have been the asshole, it would have taken me just minutes to at least tell him where the stuff is. I checked on the guys a few hours later and it was a disaster. Table all cluttered, they ordered some takeout as sides, there weren't enough dishes and silverware, someone had to go drive for drinks. On Sunday, today, he was all grumpy and actually told me that he is disappointed that I didn't pull my weight and that I made our family look sloppy and bad. I told him that I am not his little housewife and that he is a big guy and if he embarrassed himself in front of his workmates, that's all on him. And that I'm glad that he can see at least a tiny bit of work that I do around the house. He got upset and went for a run to let off some steam. Oh, and the patio is full of dishes, he didn't even clean the grill. I'm not touching anything. Edit, update. Thank you for the comments, this made me realize I am at fault as well for tolerating this for so long. I went out to clear my head, my husband came back from his run and is pointedly not speaking to me, and reconsider many things in our marriage. Edit, update 2. Maybe a similar story was posted before, apparently more husbands are assholes. Feel free to post the link to the supposedly identical post I copied this from, go ahead. And please don't give this awards, this is a throwaway account that I plan to abandon in a few days at most. Not the asshole. In fact, you're so not the asshole that you are my hero. Your husband can kick rocks. If he wants to look at the person who failed, he just needs to look at himself in the mirror. Not the asshole. Is he always this entitled? Rethink your entire relationship dynamic if he is and start demanding for the kind of treatment you deserve. Not the asshole. I love this kind of take a stand thing. You are not a assistant, slave, maid, cleaner. It's gonna be while before your husband will do another barbecue. Not until he learn how much job it take to organize a proper barbecue party. You stand on your ground, sister. Not the asshole. Why he'd think you'd want to waitress for free at his guy's night is a mystery. Hopefully he'll understand the invisible work you were doing all this time now and appreciate you for it. I'd also guess that while it was a disaster compared to usual that most of the guests probably had no idea. Not the asshole, and this is a hill to die on. Mostly because my husband is not an asshole and would not do this to me, so it seems hilarious to me that yours thinks this type of behavior, treating your spouse like a party planner without so much as a by your leave, is acceptable. Not the asshole. It's his party, his friends, his responsibility. How does he live in the house and not know where cups and plates are? And he has some nerve to say he's disappointed that you didn't pull your weight. I think this meme I saw recently is applicable to this situation. You're not alone, keep up your strike. Not the asshole. Sounds like he's been taking you for granted for a while. Once he's cooled off, I would personally have a calm sit-down discussion about why this happened. He dropped this on you and expected you to do stuff without him asking. He doesn't notice or appreciate what you do. If he wants a barbecue to be a team event, he needs to ask, not tell, and pull his own weight on the supporting elements, etc., etc. And hopefully this will go some way towards changing things. Info. Do you ever get to invite your friends over? Is your husband expected to pull his weight when your friends are over? Oh geez. Communication is not strong here. When my husband invited his colleagues to our home for a meal, I said no. He asked me why. I told him that putting on a dinner is so draining that I only do it for special people. It is a giving, loving act, not something that I would do as a Stepford wife. He took them to a bar. They had a ball. Not the asshole due to your husband's attitude towards you. However, it takes two to effectively communicate. Not the asshole. This was your husband's barbecue that he arranged without your knowledge or even discussing it with you, therefore it's his job to organize and purchase everything necessary, which he accepted. He has no right to be angry at you. Don't you dare clean up after them. Not the asshole. He said he'd handle the party. He didn't bother to ask you for help until the party had started, he just assumed you'd deal with it. He didn't check with you before inviting people over, and it's your home too. If he wants to throw a party for his friends, it should be his responsibility, not yours. I posted 2 updates to my main post. Thanks everyone for the comments. I might not reply anymore. This is a throwaway account that has served its purpose, with gibberish for a password, so I won't be able to come back once I log out. Please give awards to nice posts of actual active accounts, it will go to waste here. Have a wonderful day, op out. Not the asshole. Sounds like he either 1, didn't realize how much you contributed, or 2, doesn't care. Either way he should be asking, not telling you to help, and if you don't want to help out with an event that you're not included in, then he can hire someone to do that. You should definitely stand up for yourself. Sounds like he's been taking you for granted. I feel crazy reading the replies. It sounds like you just do everything without being asked, which is very nice of you. But you've built up resentment towards it. You need to talk to your husband about it instead of just purely ignoring the situation cause you wanted to prove your point. You knew it was going to be a shit show. Just sit him down and say, hey husband, I don't want to do all this shit for you. You need to do it yourself. If he has a problem or just expects you to do it anyway, then there's things to reconsider. As of right now you sound as petty as he is. Misery loves company. Not the asshole at all. If I was in your place I would pester him for the cleanup of his guys' night, as well, but I'm petty Betty in regards to such things. Not the asshole, and good on you for sticking to your guns. Not the asshole. Girl, I'm rooting for you. You stood your ground. Maybe now he'll realize how much work you always put in and he will be more appreciative. Not the asshole. He gave you notice and said he'd handle it himself. You seem to have done things perfectly. Good on you for standing your ground. Not the asshole. All you're asking for is the slightest appreciation for what you do. I don't understand why he feels that is so hard to give. Not the asshole. It's not the end of world that his party wasn't perfect, and it was a reality check for him. Not the asshole. So basically he takes your help for granted, doesn't ask if it's okay to have people around, and just generally acts like an asshole. Not the asshole. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Hopefully he takes it in stride and realizes how much behind-the-scenes work it takes to put on a nice barbecue or party. Not the asshole. If he wants to be the grill king, he must understand the role involves every step. Good on you for standing your ground. Not the asshole, but you need to have a proper discussion with him rather than just leaving those plates. Later this week you're going to have dinner out of a gravy boat otherwise. You are both adults, you made your stand and your point, but if you want things to change properly going forward you need to follow it up with real words so he understands you're not in a one-off snit. Obviously not the asshole. You two need to have a big talk if it took him falling flat on his face to realize how much you do, and are seemingly just expected to do. Not the asshole, but you should have done this a while ago. Not the asshole, not at all. He said he'd handle it. Lol. Not the asshole, no wonder he likes to throw parties if he always do just the fun part. It was a long-needed lection that a party is much work and not just putting meat on the grill. Not the asshole. Good for you. It is good for him to realize there is not some magic party fairy. Him standing on the deck pounding his chest while grilling meat in a manly way is not the sum of all the effort that goes into a party. Welcome to reality, buddy. Not the asshole. I can see how you feel taken for granted. Plus, if it's guys' night, all the more reason you don't feel inclined to help. You two don't seem to be communicating very well. He decides the two of you are hosting a party and doesn't ask you if you mind. You take care of the majority of the work and won't tell him how you feel about that. You're not working together and I can't imagine that feels very good either. Not the asshole. Sounds like he doesn't appreciate all of the things you do and hopefully this little disaster will show him. Good on you, emo. It's not the fact that anyone is an asshole. It's the fact that grown men can't pick up after themselves after they eat and stop at a gas station and pick up a case of beer and put it in the refrigerator. What is this? I am more concerned of the lack of basic common sense here. NTA. He said that he would take care of the party. Also, you are not meant to be his servant getting everything ready for them. If you agree to do so beforehand, that's okay, but in this case you clearly did not agree to cater to his needs for this party. Not the asshole. If he wants or needs your help with having a barbecue, he needs to ask for it, not assume. He said he could handle it, and you took him at his word. Whether you knew everything would go badly or not does not matter, you let him do, and fail at, what he said he was capable of doing. Hopefully in the future he'll have the common decency to ask for your help if he wants to host a barbecue and needs help. He should also take the time to have you walk him through prep step by step so he's capable of handling it himself in the future. Hosting his friends is not your responsibility. Not the asshole, his guests, so they're his responsibility. Can't believe that he made you believe that you are the asshole in this scenario. I feel like a post like this pops up almost every other day. Girl, he is an adult inviting friends, and if he can't deal with being a host, then maybe he should stop inviting friends. Or appreciate you and actually pull his weight. No way you are the asshole in this scenario, and crazy that he is running around believing that you are. Not the asshole. You need to have a conversation with him regarding expectations. Let him know as well that he declared it guys' night and you left the guys to it. I got downvoted for my judgment, which is fine, but I did want to share that my sense of déjà vu was real. _Anastasia found it. Thank you. It was driving me nuts. Do some of the stories here just get recycled? This exact story was posted a few months back. Not the asshole. You're not his mommy. If he wants to throw a party, then it's up to him to learn how to throw it. Not the asshole. That's super rude of him. He told you he had it and you trusted him. He was taking you for granted but couldn't see it. Not the asshole. The minute he said it was a guy's night and you said you'd be in your craft room, he should have known that it was all on him. Resist any urge to clean. This is his mess. He's a big boy, he can do it himself. Not the asshole. I remember seeing a very similar post a while back. I'm surprised you put up with this for as long as you have. Kudos to you for not doing anything. Definitely do not clean everything up. Let the boys handle it. Cold sweat smile. I don't understand why your husband, an adult man, is behaving like a toddler. And being mad when this could be a chance for him to apologize to you, as he should. You're not his maid, and even if they were your friends as well, it's still not your job to do everything you described plus cleaning. Your husband needs to check this thread. My 12-year nephews do more around the house when they have their friends over. I hope this was an eye-opener for the sexist work imbalance in your marriage. Not the asshole. Please, for the love of Yoni, put your foot down and make him understand that this is not respectful or fair. Your husband should not be relying on you to be a caterer, waitress, chef, etc. for his friends. However, you chose not to speak up about this dynamic bothering you and instead behaved in a way that created a much larger issue and was a bit rude. You definitely could have told him where the dishes were. This seems like a fundamental issue with expectations in your marriage that no one is discussing. You need to have a conversation with your husband about feeling like a maid, cook, etc. And he needs to be respectful of your existence as an individual human being who isn't there to serve him. Not the asshole. At last he is starting to understand how much you do for him. Let's see what he learns from this. He is disappointed that I didn't pull my weight. My head would have exploded at this point. Not the asshole. I'm surprised he didn't have the decency to ask you if it was okay to have the boys over. It's your house too. I think your husband secretly thought you would come help him out when he realized the party was going to hell. In terms of you not pulling your weight, I interpret that to mean that your wifely duties to cook, clean, etc. weren't being done at his party, so now this disastrous party was somehow your fault. You guys should talk this out. Maybe a marriage counselor would help. Good luck. Not the asshole. Crap like this used to happen every Mother's Day for his mom. If I went to visit my mom it was, hurry and get home so we can get things ready for the barbecue for his mom. The barbecue where him and his brother stood at a grill watching meat cook while I set up the porch and tables, got the dishes and sides all while trying to care for our 4 kids. The barbecue was always in celebration of his mom, never paying any attention to the fact that I too was a mom and that this should have been a special day for me too. I stopped going. He'd take the kids and I'd spend Mom's Day alone, unless someone acted up, then he sent them home for me to deal with. His mom lived 2 houses away. Not the asshole. If you've been together a while and he's not a complete child you can retrain him. Ask him questions so that he has to say what was unfair and unreasonable instead of you telling him. You'll have to stand up for yourself and figure out how to get him to see your perspective, but most husbands will do more if you expect more. My husband has his own issues, but ultimately when I started working more than him outside the house I made a very clear shift on how much I could handle.